Alright, let's go ahead and get started. So, today is actually the Streamer Early Access event. I ended up not doing it because I haven't really been working on Standard that much, and I just don't think that's the kind of content that I think I'm in a position to produce that's actually going to be good right now. So, for better or for worse, for whatever my viewer count's going to end up being, I'm going to be playing some Modern and Pioneer today. We're going to start out with Modern. Big Monkey submitted me a Titanshift deck list last week that I ended up doing fairly well with. If you check in the YouTube, if you check on my YouTube landing page, right beneath the uploads, I actually have started like some pet decks playlists. Right now I believe the decks there are Titanshift, Storm, and Modern Humans. And so you can find all three of those playlists there, and they should have like all the times I've played the deck on stream and have posted it to YouTube. That way it's nice and easy to find in one place on my page. So this obviously this video is going to be added as soon as we finish up, the league today and it gets posted to YouTube. This will be the top video in the Titanshift channel, but the video from last week is going to be the immediate video next down, and so on and so forth. So that was a little update for those of you watching on YouTube. Of course, on Twitch, if you are a subscriber to the YouTube, you can see that as well. Like I said, just a little bit of reorganization on the page to hopefully make things a little bit easier to find for those of you that come and watch me for my Titanshift content. So yeah, this is a slight variant on the list we played last week. There was some changes I talked about at the end of the video. Spent some time talking with Becky on that video as well about just some changes I wanted to make to the deck list. After playing through the league, and despite doing well, there were some things some pain points I noticed in the deck list. So once again, I'm trying my pet card Escape to the Wild. This was over a second Summoner's Pact. We never cascaded into one with a Bloodbraid Elf, but I think that's more luck than anything else. I wanted another payoff card that wasn't awkward with Bloodbraid Elf, but did synergize well with Dryad. And so being able to play all the lands off of Escape to the Wilds like pretty quickly with Dryad, I think is a really important synergy. It's also another payoff card that is actively good against Ashiok. Dreamrender, and so picking up some, in my opinion, rather free resiliency to that card, which is part of what the reason for Bloodbraid Elf in this deck, I think is pretty important. I'm not going to go over the whole deck list today. I went over it a little bit further detail in the video, like I said, from last week. So if you're watching this here and you want to talk a little bit more about the deck list, I talked pretty in depth about it at the beginning and the end of the video last week. So just scroll down on the Titanshift video on my YouTube channel. You'll be able to find that. But other than that, the list in the main deck's pretty close. I changed a few cards in the sideboard. I shaved a Fry because I just didn't feel like we needed it. I ended up with a Beast Within. I shaved a Chandra, Awakened Inferno for a Relic, and I shaved the second Reclamation Sage for Beast Within. For Relic of Progenitus. I think Relic of Progenitus is pretty good in a lot of the Uro matchups, the Uro Mystic Sanctuary matchups, so I wanted a little bit more graveyard hate for that. But plus Dredge has picked up quite a lot, and I just wanted to have extra cards for that matchup just in case. Even though the matchup is good, they have gotten better in the matchup because of Ox of Agonis, so I ended up playing more graveyard hate than I was last week. And just kind of cheating with Beast Within on a bunch of slots for artifacts, enchantments. Also, because I'm down a Reclamation Sage. Also Ashioks, because I'm down a Fry. Just trying to use Beast Within to combine those two slots, be a little bit more efficient, and play a little bit more graveyard hate. Evening Nubs, how are you? Yeah, that's about it. I'm just gonna start playing some games. Like I said, if you wanted to see more of my discussion around the deck list, the Modern Prelim starts in 7 hours. If you want to see more of me discussing the deck list and some of the choices in it, you can find that on the YouTube channel. Should be nice and easy to find. Boop. But I want to see how this ends up. And if we can 5-0 again, maybe we're just great. Oh, I spoiled it. I apologize. We 5-0'd last week. Beast Within is my favorite Titan card. I agree, Hunter. Actually, it's kind of funny. I always hated Beast Within in these decks because I just didn't get it. I was like, what is this card for? We could just play more efficient answers to every single problematic permanent. Artifacts and enchantments, we have better answers. Creatures, we have better answers. Everything, we have better answers. Wagner MTG, let's go. It just felt like I legitimately had better answers for actually every problem this deck had. But then when Ashiok came out and people started playing a lot of Beast Within, so I was like, that's kind of smart. Is there something from Ikoria you'd like in this deck? I haven't looked at most of the cards in the context of Titanshift. A lot of the stuff I've been excited about has been companion related. But I'm sure there's probably a companion that fits in this archetype. I don't know. I think we can squeeze a companion in. I don't know which one actually fits, but I think we could squeeze a companion in. Other than that, there's nothing busted. Like, we just got Dryad of the Ilysian Grove, right? Like, how much can you expect for this deck list? But, like, I think... Yeah, I don't think there's going to be any major upgrades for this deck list. I mean, the cards this deck plays are, in general, like, pretty tight requirements no matter which way you go. We're going to play the Valakut first to make my mana development a little easier, even though it's a little awkward with this castle. But I don't think anybody's, like, going to have, like, main deck Crumble to Dust, or, not Crumble to Dust is the wrong card, but, like, Ghost Quarter plus Surgical or something. Like, I'm just not worried about playing this out aggressively in turn 1 and game 1. I like to see Thoughtseize. My hand's all the same. It all does the same things. I think if they're smart, this is the best card in my hand. But this one, I think, is also close. Like, it doesn't really matter. They're not taking this. It's one of these two cards. It's probably supposed to be this one, but it remains to be seen which is actually the take. I'm curious simply because your deck name was pre-Ikoria. Yeah, well, the thing is, what I expect to happen with Ikoria is I expect the rest of the format to change a lot. Like, I expect the companions to have a really, really big impact on what is going on. I'm probably supposed to fetch Shock. Like, if this is John, my life total doesn't super matter that much. And I want this to come in untapped. I want to have mountains for this Valakut. Just going to grab this. They have no creature in play, so I'm actually going to lead on the Farseek first. I'm going to leave Sheltered Thicket in the deck because we have a lot of lands already in hand. So we have plenty of lands we want to play. So if we draw it, there's a good chance we'd want to cycle it. And so, like, I want to leave the option to draw this card because it's not actually a bad draw right now. We're going to grab a Cinder Glade instead. I'm going to feel silly if I get Blood Moon at some point in this game, but I think we're fine. Anyways, yeah, I expect the modern landscape to change a lot with Ikoria. I think a lot of the cards in the set are very, very powerful. Like, Song of Creation is a card that concerns me. Sprite Dragon's really good. The 2-mana black-green creature that has power toughness equal to the creatures in the graveyard I think is powerful. All the companions are good. I expect the format to shift somewhat dramatically as it gets figured out over the next few weeks and as Ikoria releases. So that's more or less why I named the deck pre-Ikoria, because, like, I'm not adjusting for any of the companion cards or anything. What is this 4-color nonsense? You shocked. So you're obviously a shadow deck, right? You're obviously a shadow deck. You obviously have Stub. You probably have Traverse. Like, I don't know what else you'd be in green for. Like, you'd be in green for Tarmogoyf. My guess is Tarmogoyf's Traverse. Like, you're not going to be like some kind of Uro deck taking this level of damage. Yeah, I'm just going to continue to play Mountains. So we're just going to deploy this. Probably going to keep this in play. Although if we draw a Titan, we feel a little silly. But we can Titan off this Castle Garenbrig anyway. I really don't want to put this in play because I want to be able to turn on my Field of the Dead a little faster. So I'm actually going to play this even though it's a little awkward. My mana development was more awkward than I thought it was going to be this game. Just like trying to play around like multiple things. They might push this in step. Just clear it out the way. They also might have a Drown in the lock. It's possible. It's another reason to play Escape the Wilds. Yeah. That makes sense. Dismember lets them turn on their shadows. Mountain. And like I said, it's really important to get this Valakut online as quick as possible, because if you look at their life total, they're 3 volts from dead. So, like, there's a very good chance we ever draw a Primeval Titan, they're dead, and we can maybe just kill them with our lands. Like, maybe if we draw... Oh, yeah, that's part of the Shadow deck. I was like, is this, like, living it or something? What's happening? They often play this because it turns on Traverse a little faster. So this just confirms they have Traverse in their deck. But yeah, like, I want to be able to kill them with just Mountains. Like, next turn, we're going to be able to play Mountain. And then have, like, every Mountain that we play in the future is going to turn on bolts. And just kill our opponent. I don't think this matchup's overly good. I think a lot of their interaction's good, and I think their clock's a lot better than Jund. So I think this matchup is, like, similar to Jund, but a fair bit harder, which makes it closer to even. Veil is obviously a huge pickup for this kind of matchup. But, I mean, they have various counterspells and stuff they can play. Disdainful Strokes and Drown in the Locks, stuff like that. That do matter a lot. So, overall, my guesstimate on this matchup is, like, maybe 50-50 to a little bit their favor. But, I mean, Field of the Dead is obviously super, super big. And if we can get that card into play, we're just in very good shape. Hydrate, chat. Stay hydrated. So, like, the thing about my life total is, like, I think they're going to be incentivized to fetch and shock and, like, up this clock a little bit. Because they can make it into, like, if they make it 3 more points, they can turn it to a 3-turn clock versus a 5-turn clock, which is huge. So they're going to want to take some amount of damage. Even if they only take 1 point, it's still a 4-turn clock versus a 5. But if they shock, it's a 3-turn clock, and I think that's such an upgrade. But if they fetch and shock, then they're dead to 2 bolts. So, like, you know, if we can just turn on our land, I think we're in really good shape. I wonder what they're thinking about. They might be thinking about casting a discard spell, but I think they know... I know most of my hand. They might not know a card. Oh, Traverse. Okay. Just Traverse for a Shadow. A Snapcaster. You're going to Snap Thoughtseize next turn. Doesn't kill me. I don't know what's going on here. What do? I want it to where if we draw a Field of the Dead, we have access to a zombie. So I'm actually going to play this Wooded Foothills, even though it feels a little silly to do. Go. But we're not going to crack it, because we can make multiple zombies. Because, like, if we draw specifically the card Field of the Dead, we can play it, make a zombie, and then we fetch Sheltered Thicket, make another zombie. They fetch, shock, if they have 2 shock lands in their deck and TBR, we're dead. We could die to a TBR pretty easily here. And, like, they haven't cast a lot of their spells, so, like... the fact they grab Snapcaster makes me think they don't have Temur Battle Rage. But... they're also dead to a ramp spell, which is kind of funny. You know I don't have anything. Yeah, they're dead to a lot. They're dead to basically any payoff. They're dead to... any ramp spell. I mean, this all has to resolve, so, like... if they have Stubborn, then we have to draw, like, a creature, like a Dryad or a Titan. I feel like if they had TBR, they just would have slammed it. They know I have nothing, so they're just debating how much to fetch for. And they've decided the 3-turn clock is worth it. They flash and snap. Then they have lethal, but we have an instant speed bolt. No, they can still just fetch shock. They have lethal on board no matter what. Oh, but they die to that. Okay. This is kind of a weird dynamic. Dryad's really good. Yeah, they're just dead. I mean, I don't think there's anything they can do about this. Like I said, there was a lot of lethal draws here. Dryad. Boop. Yo. Always yes, always yield. So even if they dismember, this should work. Same with this. Got him. Got him, chat. And this is cool that we get to turn this into a Valakut trigger, so even if they, like, answer this, we can just, like, fetch and, like... Yeah. We can just fetch and bolt them anyway. We had every out covered. Drawing Dryad was damn near perfect. Dryad's great. I'm great. Deck's great. Everything's great. Hey, Teddy, what's up? How are you? Have you been enjoying the Streamer Early Access event? See, Hunter? Flood just never matters. I want some amount of, like, all of this stuff. I don't know what amount. I think this card's kind of bad, so I'm not going to put it in my deck. I think this card is heinous. Now, the question is, what do I think is bad? I don't know how often Shadow plays, like, Ashioks. Because that's going to determine how many Bloodbraids I keep in my deck. I think this card being a payoff that doesn't impact the board means it's a payoff I want to cut. But it is very good against the discard stuff. But so is, like, all of this. Maybe these Baloths just aren't good. Baloth used to be good against, like, Grixis Shadow, where, like, a lot of the times they would try to, like, Bolt Snap Bolt you, and it, like, gained some life and blocked for a turn. It was just, like, very impactful, but we have creatures that already do that in the form of Bloodbraid Elf. Oh, and Bloodbraid in a Veil is embarrassing. Alright, get these out of my deck. I'm just going to get these out of my deck, hope that this card can appropriately place it. Maybe we just don't bring in Relics, and then, like, we have a good, clean, like, 6 for 6. I remember Relic being pretty decent, though. It's, like, good against the Goofer and Snap draws. Bad against, like, specifically the Shadow draws, but they take a lot of damage as a part of the Shadow draws. Alan put together a busted deck. Otherwise, have been very impressed. That's fair. 2 copies seems standard. I haven't copied. Come on, you're my Shadow expert. What are you doing? Yeah, if they have Ashioks, I'm just, like, kind of don't want this card at all. Don't want this Beast Within. We can hedge with the Beast Within. I don't even want the Beast Within. I'm off it. These Baloths might suck. If these Baloths suck and we get a game 3, I'm probably going to cut them and put in, like a Beast Within and a Relic or something. Not playing Magic. I mean, that's fair. I will admit, online Magic when you're not, like, streaming is, like, pretty miserable. I played a few tournaments off stream, and, like, not being able to talk to people and, like, have a good time and stuff like that is just like, this is not worth it. Like, playing Magic by yourself just in your room, like, in your house, it's kind of a drag. Like, you have to have people to, like, Discord with or people to stream to or something like that, or it's just, like, not as fun. I, like, wanted to focus, so I was just like, this hand's fine. I just, like, kept to myself and, like, yeah, they almost F6 through their main phase. Anyways, yeah, I just kept to myself and, like, didn't, like, stream with anybody. Just had a pretty miserable time. I wasn't ready for that, though. Like, I really enjoy the game of Magic, so I figured, like, playing online would be less fun, but not, like, miserable. And it was bad. Yep. Did they do me? Do they know about this card? No, they did themselves to see if they wanted to fetch, and they did want the card that they fetched. Okay. Our hand's pretty good. It's going to pan out really well. Because turn 3, like, turn 2 we're going to explore. Whether it works or not doesn't actually super matter all that much. We're going to end up with 3 mana at least on the start of turn 3. And then we play Dryad and play 2 lands. If we have 4 lands because of the Explorer, then we're going to end up being able to bolt stuff, which is pretty disgusting. So, like, our sequence here is really good. And it's, like, really good against Ashiok because Dryad's just going to be able to bolt stuff. And, like, we have both payoff lands, like a Field of the Dead and a Valakut, so that's really impactful, too, as well. Very, very impactful. Goofer. A 2/3 Goofer. Deal. Unfortunately, going to beef it up a bit, but I don't think that overly matters. Veil of Summer. I'm gonna hold the Veil of Summer. I just don't think it matters that much. Explore. If we get an untapped land, I'll consider putting it into play. Yeah, I'm just like kind of off it. Field or Valakut? Put field into play. Go. So I gave them a sorcery. They could probably get a sorcery by discarding me. Although them having no discards is really weird. I wonder if they have an Ashiok or something. We'll see if they snap this land off. Nah, they didn't. They would have milled themselves with an Ashiok just to like turn on Traverse and like make this bigger. They had Ashiok pre-main. Like first main. So they don't have Ashiok. They don't have discard. They just have counter spells, more threats. What does their hand look like? They did nothing. Okay, they have to have something. My guess is counter spells. Counter spells and not Shadow, because they could have played that. I don't know what they have. Counter spells and Snapcaster Mage and lands. It's 5 cards of nonsense. Now, our friend is watching you right now, and you seem very wholesome. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. That means a lot to me. I think I want a green source. Just being able to, like, veil any kind of counter magic they might have, or any kind of removal spell they have for Dryad seems impactful. And we get to have the Sweet Forest in play. That's just good equity. That is unfortunate. Does that mean we don't play the Dryad? No, because if we draw land, we're going to want to have played the Dryad. So, like, even though I want to put this Sack Daddy in play, I think it just makes more sense to Dryad. Dryad. Because, like, they're also going to try to kill it. I'm going to want to capitalize on this Veil. Whereas, like, I wouldn't Veil the Sakura-Tribe Elder like them shooting the Sakura-Tribe Elder. Delay? Delay would be sweet. That counters, right? What does Delay do? That counters the spell, right? If it gets countered, it's like Remand, where the replacement puts it in exile instead. Yeah, if the spell's countered this way, cool. I just wanted to make sure Veil of Summer worked. Yep. Now, the awkward thing is here, Stubborn Denial works even though they don't have Ferocious, because the shocking. Shock to 11. That seems odd. What do they have? Snap something? Push. Alright, they probably have a counterspell, but like fighting over this is nice when we have 2 payoff in hand. Like I'm very okay fighting over this. Yeah. I expected that to get stubbed. But like we traded resources here. That makes this thing dummy thick. But now if we spike a land, we have Titan. And we have Titan that makes 2 zombies as well to block, so we're just in good shape. And if not, we have Sakura-Tribe Elder to help, like, cover this for a turn. I think we're in good shape. I would be pretty surprised if we lost this one. They'd have to put, like, 2 shadows here. 2 shadows and have stub. That'd probably kill us. That's 1. Okay, I think we can beat 1. The question is Escape to the Wilds, or... Are we dead to this? We're probably dead to this. They just need any way to hurt themselves. So, but any removal spell probably beats us. Huh. Interesting. If we escape, we need to hit 2 lands with different names in order to make zombies and start blocking. And we need it to resolve. If we cast Sakura-Tribe Elder, it's very likely to just resolve. They remove it. Then they need any way to hurt themselves for us to die. So, do I think they have another removal spell or another stub? The fact they still have Fatal Pushes in their deck is concerning. I don't know how many removal spells they still have. Because my thought is that they brought in counter spells, and so I should just play the Sakura-Tribe Elder because they shouldn't have very many removal spells. But I just don't know if that's actually even true. If the card's Dismember, it covers both in one card. So, like I feel like you would leave in all your Dismembers before you left in Fatal Pushes at all. And the fact they have Fatal Push means they probably have Dismember. So, they're probably close to equal on removal spell and counter spell numbers. Steve looks safest. Steve is the safest to resolve, but I'm not sure it's the safest for us to not die. This is actually a pretty close and interesting scenario. I mean, I guess Escape could hit all nonsense and then we're essentially dead on board. On the flip side, think about it. If they have a Disdainful Stroke or something that counters Escape to the Wilds, are we winning on the next turn? If they have Stubborn to now, we could, because we could Primeval Titan, I suppose, and then, like, make 2 zombies. It's a really tough spot. It's a really tough spot. I'm not sure what's correct. If they have Drown in the lock, then Escape to the Wilds works, but Steve doesn't. Awkward. Love you. I love you, Doobie Baby. Steve looks the safest, but that's what I'm saying is they have the stroke. Are we winning this game anyway if they have the stroke? I don't think we are. And because I don't think we're winning this game if they have the stroke anyway, I'm just going to cast Escape to the Wilds. If they have Stub, I'm going to feel a little stupid, but, I mean, they had 2 stubs. The fact they're reading this card isn't very good for me. Because it means they can do something about it. Yeah. Well, show me you have a way to hurt yourself. Boom, 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 boom. That kills me. Good game. Oh, I guess I'll make them do it. Will they find the line of fetching? They did. Nice. Okay, so they had stroke plus a way to hurt themselves. I don't see us winning that game anyway. Because no matter what happens there, like, think about the way the game plays out. We, Steve, block for a turn, sack it, grab a land. They hit us for, they probably fetch and shock, hit us for a lot, and then just stroke our next play. Like, no matter what we're doing on the next turn, it's going to be Titan or Scapeshift. I'm going to, like, sit there and tank on whether or not we should play on Stubborn or not, but it's going to be Titan or Scapeshift. And both of those get stroked and we die. So, I don't see a world where we survive over the course of those 2 turns. I think we were losing to that stroke plus the way to hurt themselves no matter what. So they do have Goofers. They do have Traverse. They do have Snapcaster Mage. I think that makes Relic better than Obstinate Baloth. Plus, on the draw, we just don't as much need the extra turn. We want the mana efficiency. This hand is terrible. I might keep it anyway, because I'm silly, and it's really, like, it makes a lot of the draws. Like, it's weird to say this, but this hand makes a lot of the draws in our deck better, which is attractive. But we could, this is easily a keep-lose. Alright, whatever, dude. I didn't sign up to play well. I don't know who you think I am. What kind of man you think I am. Pretty stupid. And, like, the Field of the Dead's kind of a swing vote, too, because it's, like, a good natural payoff for our lands. Like, if we just, like, can ramp to 7 mana, even if they take the Scapeshift for the Thoughtseize or whatever, like, we have blockers for a long time, and that just, like, they have trouble beating that. So, like, just being able to make our land drops, making Dryad a really good draw, making Explore and, like, all our ramp spells very good draws, and blanking Inquisition. All attractive things. I guess it makes redundant discard spells pretty bad, too. What's up, Justin? See you are playing more of easily my favorite deck. How's Escape been so far? Just tuning in. This is the first match, and Escape just got countered by a Disdainful Stroke, like all of our hand would have, so it has been as good as any other payoff that you can cast for 5 mana, which I guess is none. So it's been better than Primeval Titan and Scapeshift so far. I mean, we're the first match in, so I think it is good, this matchup. This Explorer was a really good draw. put this into play. And there you see, like, Explore was a good draw. Like, a lot of our cards are really good draws that aren't lands. Now, our deck is half lands, but if every other card is just a good card, then, like, I think that's still a good rate. Now, we put less mountains into play than I'd like. Having to play the forest there to, like, prevent from shocking is a little awkward. But I think I'm going to want these Cinder Glades to enter untapped anyway. So, I don't think we're going to get hosed for this, but hopefully it goes well. Popper, this hand is trash. I don't think this hand's trash. Come on. This hand was fine. Doobie, come on. I think we would want the second escape over Pact. Not gonna lie, I'm super scared of BBE into Pact. I mean, we played BBE with we played 4 BBE with 2 Pacts last week and it was fine. Like, it wasn't great, and we never hit it, which was lucky. But like, I think 1 Pact is fine. Like, I don't know that escape is good enough to justify playing 2 of, and it makes our sideboard Reclamation Sage a little bit better and our sideboard Baloth. Like, Pact does make our deck, like, better than Escape to the Wilds makes our deck better. But I think Escape to the Wilds making our Bloodbraid Elves better is meaningful. Alright, Relic could be a good draw now, too. Lots of good draws. That is not among the good draws. Boop. Oh. I mean, that's a slow clock. It's a 3-4. We're not exactly putting an abundance of types into the graveyard. So they're going to have to do that themselves. It's a 4th type. That helps. We need to draw probably 1 more real spell for us to be in this game, I think. Which, like, was about what I expected. I think I needed to draw 2 spells over the course of this game to, like, be in this game. If we brick off and draw 2 lands as our next 2 draw steps, I think we are going to die. We're going to shock? We're not going to shock. That means you don't have a shadow, which is good for me. That counts as a real card, chat. I might go ahead and pact for a Dryad. Trying to think if it's better than pacting for a Titan next turn. This is tough. Very tough. Very tough. If they have Disdainful Stroke, it's better. If they have a removal spell, it's worse. I think we're going to hold it. Titan is just so good next turn. I think this is kind of bad against discard spells. Whereas Dryad is going to be able to, like, really start pumping out the blockers for this. Like, if they have Disdainful Stroke, like, I feel like such an idiot for not pacting for a Dryad specifically this turn. We've seen Disdainful Stroke out of their deck. And if they Stubborn Denial it, that's just not the end of the world. Did you bring in Baloth for the memes? Yeah, I brought in Baloth. Wait, no, I brought him out this game. No, I don't have a Baloth in my deck this game, I don't think. Yeah, they're just, like, kind of bad. Okay. We're going to grab a Dryad. I've talked myself into grabbing a Dryad. You can't stop me, chat. Now, because this can't be Primeval Titan, they may not actually counter it. And my hope is that they try to sniff out that this is a Sakura-Tribe Elder that I'm trying to grab that will allow me to Scapeshift next turn, so they go out of their way to Thoughtseize me just to have a Thoughtseize blank. Although Dryad does the same thing. I'm hoping they answer this and burn a Thoughtseize next turn. Keep in mind, this does grow the Tarmogoyf, too. Which was something I was aware of casting it. But the clock is a 4-turn versus a 4-turn either way. So it doesn't change the clock with what's on board now. Opponent's really not sure if they should counter this or not. Guess I should play this first. I don't think it triggers anything, but whatever. Now we have 2 zombies next turn. Oh, they have a drown? Drown's good. Nice. Yeah, they obviously could have drowned the Pact. I'm actually not mad with the way this played out. It sucks that it grows the Tarmogoyf to now a 3-turn clock, but I'm not mad with the way this played out because that drown was going to get us at some point anyway. Alright. 6. And we can still draw a 2-mana ramp spell this turn. Boop. Okay. Yes, I would. Nice. Put this into play. Pass. I mean, we should not die here. Even a snapping something doesn't kill us, so I'm okay. Trophy. Sure. That sucks, but it lets us get another mountain. So, like, now this Titan's going to be able to pick this off, I think. Which is nice. Now, if they have stroke, then we are going to die. Like, if they have all these things, then we're just dead. There's no dancing around it. If they have everything, we are dead. Played around Quench. Gust would be bad. I haven't thought about Gust. I don't think these decks normally play Gust. I think people are kind of realizing that card's not very good in Modern. Yep. Okay. Actually, the second field that'd be a nice draw. Actually, that Thoughtseize is what exactly punishes us for casting the Pact for the Dryad on that fourth turn. I mean, because the last turn we could have gone Pact, they stroke it, and then we go Titan out of hand. But we didn't have the Titan yet. We didn't know about a Thoughtseize that would come down in 2 turns. So the way this game played out, I actually got very punished for trying to grab the Dryad. We still have outs, but it is certainly unfortunate. Okay. Well, that blocks. One, two, three, four. Yeah, let's put this into play. Oh, no, I didn't need to put that into play. That was dumb. Very unlikely to matter, but putting this into play was dumb. Should put this into play. Yeah, we did. Unfortunate. I think that game was reasonably close. They left in like pushes and removal spells and stuff, which is really, really heads up in the matchup because we're not cutting Dryads ever. I don't regret my mulligan decision, but I think I regret trying to Pact for that Dryad. It was a little aggressive, but I mean, I couldn't guarantee there was a payoff on top of my deck, and so I wanted to be able to start making zombies as quickly as possible off that Field of the Dead, and we basically got as punished as you could possibly draw it up. Like, they had the removal spell for the field, they had the counter spell after we Pacted for the Dryad, and they had, so we couldn't even get the first ramp spell off of it, and they had a Thoughtseize when we drew a payoff from the top of our deck. So, like, that's a lot of things to have to, like, go exactly their way to play around. So I don't super regret the way we played it, but I would like to see that play pattern come up more, where we're just like, I keep a land-heavy hand and then draw a Pact and see what happens. But, I mean, it's very hard to draw that scenario up multiple times. And against different opponents, it's going to happen different ways. I think his hand's fine. 5-0 Dream, no. I mean, 5-0ing is very unlikely in your average Modern league. People play a lot of random stuff. I'm more or less looking to see how the games play out. My opponent, in this case, is mulling to 5. So our very fine to medium hand is probably going to get there. This hand looks pog. It is fairly pog. I mean, this is the kind of hand that I could easily see myself, like, missing land drop 4 and 5 and just, like, being awkward as hell. Because, like, this hand's only good if there are 2 lands in our top 3 cards or whatever. But Tron, never mind, this hand's probably just great. Oh, that's among the worst draws in this matchup, I imagine. Matchup's pretty good. We're going to be able to kill a Karn. Oh, whoa. Is this E-Tron? Wouldn't mind a little E-Tron action. A little bit of E-Tron action. We don't have a Primeval Titan hand, so this Castle Garenbrig doesn't overly matter. I'm going to hold it. Farseek, because they do not have a creature in play. I do not want to draw the Sheltered Thicket, so we're going to put it in play because we're land light. We're very unlikely to want to cycle it, and we do want untapped lands. Go! We're not getting Karned, we know that. If they... like, I know you mulled to 5, but, like, what is happening? Skeptical face. I wish this was mono green so we could play both of these. How sick would that be? So it's just right to play the Bloodbraid Elf, right? Because we're going to have access to 6 mana next turn no matter what. Fair bit of bad hits here. That's not it. That's not one of them. Every time you hit a Dryad, an angel gets its wings. Alright, I got 2 Scapeshifts. What you got? This is what I got. I greatly dislike E-Tron. I love E-Tron because it's not... Oh, what is happening? Counter spells online. Maybe I shouldn't even, like, go for it. Like, they have stuff. Like, maybe I just beat them to death. What is 6? 6 is a 3-turn versus 5 is a 4-turn? I don't care. If we draw an untapped land, we're going to want a double Scapeshift, so... Forest. Bolt. Attack. Never mind. Now it's a 3-turn again because it's Lightning Bolt. I almost just, like, don't want to do anything until I can double Scapeshift. Like, I just don't want to run stuff into counter spells. Whatever. I can be Condescend. I can beat Field of Ruin. Drake, make him have it, Sasser. Yeah. I mean, what could they have? Sack everything. 7 lands. Alright, we're not going to do anything crazy. Just going to do in the normal... We're not going to go grab a pile of Valakuts. That's a good way to get blown out by, like, a removal spell or a bounce spell or something. Just not here for it. 5, 6, 7. Leave 2 basics in the deck. No. No. Boop. No need to do anything reckless. That stands, this deals 21. Always yes, always yield. Are you dead, friend? You're dead. 21? Okay. Okay, Blue Tron looks like a 4 Veil of Summer matchup. Maybe a Beast Within matchup, but I doubt it. Maybe a Reclamation Sage matchup, but I also doubt it. We can't beat... Yo, Ace, the resub for 11 months. Thank you so much. Almost a full year. Almost. You got your green bananas. Next month you get the green tree. Thank you so much for your support, Ace. It's meant a lot the whole way. I really, really appreciate it. I love the little train you have next to your name, too. Current hype train conductor? That's so cute. Why didn't they field Valakut? That doesn't turn it off? No, Hunter, that doesn't work. Once the triggers are on the stack, all it looks for is 5 mountains when it resolves. So, like, something that actually works is if you grab the 6 mountains plus a Valakut, you can bounce a mountain, and that blanks one of the triggers, I believe. I've got to figure this out. Yeah. So, like, you can stay alive. Like, I've seen people cryptic to bounce a mountain to stay alive that way. It's pretty hard to, like, actually blank all the triggers. Like, you have to blow up, like, multiple lands and stuff like that. But, because, like, all the triggers check on resolution. Something that does get people is you can bounce a land in response to the Scapeshift. I've seen that done before, too, but then you just don't sack any lands. It's, like, functionally the same as countering something and just bounces a land, too, which is cute if they don't have a way to put it back into play. What was I thinking about? Blue Tron. Deck's probably really bad. I wonder if, like, how often we're going to have to, like, beat down with these Bloodbraids. It seems kind of small ball compared to what they're going to be doing. Like, I feel like we're just going to have to go over the top of them with ramp spells. But, like, if they ever cast and activate Mindslaver, we're probably just dead. I don't know. Let's try something like this. We're up a game. I don't want to get too aggressive with my sideboarding. But yeah, like if you blow up Valakut, the triggers are already on the stack, and all the triggers are looking for on resolution is whether or not you have 5 mountains. And if you have 5 mountains, other than the land that put the trigger on the stack, then it just doesn't care if the Valakut's there or not. This is the hand I'd love to keep, but it needs like 2 more lands for me to want to actually keep it. So we're going to throw it back. Is this a Boyle matchup? Is Boyle and my Dryad in the Ilysian Grove, is that good deck building? Is that good deck building? Beast in the Rec Sage? The Beast in the Rec Sage, like I said, they might be overboarding. I don't know how good those cards specifically are in this matchup. I'm going to keep this and throw this Valakut on bottom, I think. I'm just not super interested in getting, like, Ghost Quarter Surgical, which is oftentimes, like, Tron's plan against this deck. It's a lot of lands. It makes me think maybe I'm supposed to, like, hold this. I'm just going to hold the Sheltered Thicket. If my next 2 draw steps are both just lands, we're going to cycle. Hell, actually, if my next draw step's a land, I'm probably just going to cycle the Sheltered Thicket. Try to find a ramp spell. Might be running directly into their counter magic, but I really don't care that much. It was not. So instead, I'm going to suspend, put this into play. That was actually kind of a nice draw, because it kept me from getting punished for putting my Sheltered Thicket into play tapped on my 3rd turn, and still let me, like, do the ramp spell thing. So, pretty into this. And now if they want to counter this Search for tomorrow, like, this Bloodbraid Elf gets to work, which is nice. Put fetch land into play, I guess. Whoa. I'm cool just playing lands if that's what you want to do, opponent. We'll draw some Veil of Summers eventually. Thirst for Knowledge. Herpa-derpa-derp-derpa-derp. Discard Mindslaver? That's the best card in the matchup. You must not have Tron lands, or like lands in general. Okay, you have Tron lands. Do you have multiple Mindslavers? What the hell is happening here? Costs like 10 to play and activate. And another Tron land gives them 9. Scary. I don't really think this is a field of the dead matchup, so I'm just going to fetch a Stomping Ground. Could fetch a tapped Cinder Glade. Sure. Okay. Cast. Not a poke. Yo, thank you for the sub. I really appreciate it. Counter a sorcery spell. What? Oh my god. That's pretty good. Not a poke. Thank you for the resub. If you have a sub list, you and Ace, if you have a sub list you want to play this month, put in the Discord. I have plenty of time to play some sub lists. Been doing a lot of it. Here to play Shift. What's the reward for 50k channel points? Is it not showing up? If I remember right, 50k is like playing your deck list like tonight, like the same night. Like before, it's like there's like at the 25k mark, I'll play it like whenever I have the next open slot, and then the 50k mark, I believe, is like playing it tonight, like the night that you redeem it. Yeah, that's fun. That's a nice draw. That's a really, really nice draw. Here's a Bloodbraid Elf. Cascade into Dryad. Veil of Summer. Whew! That cycles! Counter spell. Lame. Alright, you countered it. No. I still get the draw card with this. That's kind of sick. Wait, no. I wouldn't have drawn a card. They messed this up. They let me draw a card. Because this is colorless. They let me draw a card with this. What the heck? It literally didn't do anything. I guess if they let it resolve, it makes my Bloodbraid uncounterable. Never mind. They did this right. They either let me have a Bloodbraid or draw a card, and letting me have a Bloodbraid seems way better. This seems like a 3-2 haste does not seem like it's what matters in this matchup, but maybe I'm the idiot. I love how it's like we have kind of an unbecoming board state. It doesn't look like we're going to do anything next turn. They discarded Mindslaver. What the hell is happening here? What? They discarded Mindslaver and now have 10 mana. I don't care. This is almost certainly getting countered. Probably getting remanded, realistically. Alright, never mind. They should have him in a Mindslaver. That's unfortunate. I'm gonna grab regular forest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Field of the Dead. Valakut. I think this makes it to where they can't kill... Like, if they have Mindslaver, they can't kill my Titan and Scapeshift all my lands away? No, they can. No, they can't. If I grab Valakut... Yeah, no, they can. They can. But not without making a bunch of zombies. So maybe I'm supposed to grab something else. Grab a fetch land. It's the same problem. Maybe I can grab a fetch land, actually. Because they have to fetch a mountain. I'm going to grab a fetch land here. And not Valakuts. Yeah, we're going to do this. This is a little weird, but I'm trying to like hedge for Mindslaver because them discarding it one makes me think they just have one. So I'm just going to like try to like let myself make a bunch of zombies. This has to make zombies, right? I think so. Okay. I don't know what's happening here, but I guess. Just gonna let me hit you? What the hell? What is happening? Okay. Make some zombies. Oh, they have Cyclonic Rift? That's cool. Sure. Attack with all. Oh, yeah, you're right. They could just kill me. There's no playing around Mindslaver. You're right. I'd forgotten about their ability to just kill me. Valakut. Make some zombies. And then they would Cyclo Rift now. What the fuck? Why are they not Cyclo Rifting? Okay. What do they have? I have multiple things that kill them. So I'm going to go for that. What do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Cast. Dryad. 1, 2, 3. Dryad. Put this into play. You. Always yes, always yes, always yield. Alright, got 3 fetch lands. Fetch. What is happening here? I have so many questions. Are they just like dead? That's it? They just have nothing? I'm sitting here like trying to play 4D chess. You discarded the card that wins you the game on the spot. What? What happened? Why? If they don't... So they don't have counter spells. They don't have bounce spells. They don't have payoff of any kind. Like Sundering Titan would blow up like 3 lands or something. And blocks well. They don't have Mindslaver. What is their hand? No, I'm not going to... Hitting with the question mark I think is a little toxic. But like, I would like to know what their hand is there. It's like so strange. What a concept. Normally I feel so hopeless in that matchup. Because they just like counter your first 2 things. And then like... You just get Mindslavered and they kill you. And you're just like, okay, very cool. Yeah, Larry, like, I mean, I don't know that maybe they're just new. Maybe they just drew heinously badly. But, like, if you're discarding a Mindslaver to a Thirst for Knowledge, like, in the Titanshift matchup, to me that screams you just have another one. So I was, like, trying to sit there and figure out how do I beat the second Mindslaver. Because, like, it's the best card in the matchup. And they just had literally nothing all game. It's very strange. That was wild. Alright. This hand is bad. So I'm going to mulligan it. This hand is good. So I'm going to keep it. And that's it. That's your high level Titanshift guidance right here. Hand bad, mulligan. Hand good, keep. I think I'm going to bottom the Farseek here, which is a little questionable. But I just want to hit my land drops. Nothing feels worse than like having to cast a ramp spell to hit your land drops. I'm going to fetch and shock here too. If it's the burn matchup, I cry every time. Otherwise, I feel good about this fetch shock. I guess the prowess matchup, I would cry every time as well. Yeah. I think no matter what way we slice it, I think it's hard to make an argument that our Bluetron player did not understand what the matchup was about. They may have never played that matchup before, so that's reasonable. This player is on Misty Rainforest Go. Could be a lot of things, but not a whole lot that counters Explore. It's like Spell Snare, and we're not going to play around it anyway. This Castle Garenbrig is nice. Explore. We're going to hide the Castle Garenbrig in our hand. Oh, they have it. That or they're fetching a tap land. They either have Spell Snare or they're fetching a tap land. Okay. You have spell snare? Okay. Sure. The amount of times I play against decks that have the spell snare on turn 2 is just like way too high, given that spell snare is horrible in the modern format. Okay. Like the best cards are at like 3 and 4 mana right now, right? Just gonna counter this too. Alright. Remand? No, that doesn't do anything, because I don't have any plan for this turn. I guess it keeps me from Bloodbraiding. I'm actually going to grab a Forest here. This looks like it could be a Blood Moon deck. So we're going to grab a basic Forest so we can cast stuff that lets us grab other stuff. Like, I don't know what exactly is going on, but it looks like it could be like a Delver deck or something. I don't feel that bad for missing out on my search and not being able to cast Bloodbraid Elf. I think that's like fine. Field of the Dead. Yeah, I'm just going to fetch a... Like, this is a fair deck of some kind, so I'm just going to fetch some kind of snow-covered forest to make this Field of the Dead better. And have a second basic against what is possibly a Blood Moon deck. Could just fetch a Cinder Glade, actually. Yeah, okay, I'll fetch a Cinder Glade. I taught myself into fetching a Cinder Glade because I'm casting the double green card right now versus, like, having this up. And, like, having more mountains in play is really, like, really matters when you have a Primeval Titan. Mana Leak. Deprive, sure. Okay. Interesting. This also lets me fetch the forest as a 7th different land name. Got a lot of counter spells thus far. Certainly a good Veil of Summer matchup. Also looks like a good Bloodbraid Elf matchup, actually, given that they're not doing anything else. Escape to the Wilds. It's definitely a good Escape to the Wilds matchup. Just gonna keep making them have stuff as long as they don't have stuff, so here's this. Oh, it resolved. So if I want to play all the lands out of this, I can't. Valakut. Field. What was the old? Go. Next turn we can play Sakura-Tribe Elder. We're probably going to play Valakut, make another zombie. Sakura-Tribe Elder. Just leave those in exile. Bounce the zombie. Deal. Drake! What's up, Big Monkey? You make my week. I hope you know that. That's great. My deck again. What did we change? I made the changes I talked about basically in the last video. There's an Escape to the Wilds, as you saw, that was just great. There's... Actually, that Escape to the Wilds was better than a Primeval Titan. Couldn't have cast a Primeval Titan there. I also changed a little bit of the sideboard, but you can check that out pretty quick. That Jace is getting the crap Bloodbraided out of it. This is going to be a nice turn that we're about to go into. I think they're going to die a lot. What'd they put on top? Deprive? Sure. I guess this is like a lock or whatever. We have multiple Bloodbraid Elves. Very cool. Look, what is this doing in my sideboard? I mean, in my, my whatever. Alright, here's a Bloodbraid Elf. Okay. Cast Search? Love to. Snow-covered mountain. Alright. Let's put the second Valakut into play. Let's cast... Oh, we messed up. We could have cast all this stuff, huh? I could have activated this and then used the mana. I didn't even do the math with Castle Garenbrig. I'm such a moron. It's comical how bad I am at this game. Whatever. I think we're gonna have trouble losing this one, but not having the second Bloodbraid is kind of a tilt. We know they have a Deprive in their hand. Boop. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 mountains. This will be our 5th mountain, so we are going to have 2 bolts next turn. But we lose access to those 2 lands. I think we're in good shape. Jace versus BBE. Who is the better ban card? I think in this case it's going to be BBE. I don't know what they could have. Like, they could Blood Moon me here, and that doesn't matter. They could have Cryptic Command. That'd be pretty good, but still probably not good enough. Draw a good one. That's a pretty damn good one. Alright, here's this Bloodbraid Elf. I want to make them have Cryptic, ideally. Explore, sure, I'll cast that. Ah! Combat. Attack. This is a lot of damage. If they don't move, we're not casting this stuff. We're just going to hold it forever. I know about a deprive, so we're just going to try to overload their removal. Deal. I should have cracked this. That was dumb. Snapcaster Mage. Okay. And now we get to Scapeshift them second main. Opt. Okay. And now that they've spewed all of their mana, we shall Scapeshift them. Alright, you're a 9. Very cool. Here's a Scapeshift. Okay, let's see. 1. Okay, cool. I was like, I can do this if you want. It doesn't seem like you're going to have a good time, but I can sit here and play this out if you'd like. This card seems good against the Bolt Snap Bolt strategy. Like, if they're playing some kind of goofy tempo deck, it seems like it could be very good. I think for now, though, I'm into Fries, Veils, Relics. I think I want, like, all this stuff. We probably just don't have room for Baloth. We have a lot of good cards, though. Force Negation saves them. I mean, if they Force Negation back 2 of their 3 last cards, like, we couldn't play around that anyway. Because, like, they can do that at any point, right? We can't instant speed our Scapeshift. And, like, it also, like, gets a 2-for-1 still, so that makes it more likely that, 1, our beatdown strategy is going to work better, and 2, the Scapeshift is on our next turn is going to resolve, so. I was actually okay. I mean, obviously we don't win on the spot, but I was okay with a Force of Vigor there. I'm going to take Bloodbraids out, because cascading into Veils is so freaking bad. The plan is counter every spell in my deck. Doesn't feel very good. It's not very nice of them. Have to cut 3 cards. They're very likely to be a Blood Moon deck as well. Maybe we have too much stuff for like Ashiok stuff and not enough stuff for the Blood Moon plan. Alright, what if we cut the relics and brought in this stuff instead? Like, their graveyard stuff doesn't matter that much. They're not a dedicated graveyard deck. Fry still answers the Planeswalkers and the Ashioks. Are the Fries better or worse than the relics? To Fairy for instant speed shift? That's just Galaxy Brain. Or do we not want Fries at all, maybe? That's very possible. We're cutting our stuff good. I mean, they saw Bloodbraid, so I imagine Jace isn't going to stay in the deck. Cut these Fries, and then cut the Farseek, and then we're gonna see how this plays out. Yeah, I think you're right about the Blood Moons. Alright, we'll try this. I kind of hate this. Like, Baloth helps us play under Blood Moon pretty well, so I think our sideboard is, like, awkward against this deck specifically, but I think our sideboard's well set up in general. This hand is great. 2 Veils is, like, basically exactly what I want to see in this matchup, and we have lands for our early turns, so that, like, we're going to be able to capitalize on these Veils later on, and like, they're not going to be able to use their mana efficiently. Their Spell Snare is going to look kind of embarrassing. They're going to hold up 2 mana on turn 2, and we're just not going to do anything. Like, it's just like making them waste their mana is pretty nice. I don't like the Escape to the Wilds because of Force Negation. That's a fair criticism. I like Escape to the Wilds specifically because our plan for this matchup is Veil of Summer. and it's the easiest one. Well, that's kind of awkward with my whole Galaxy Brain play of making them waste their mana. But Veil of Summer I really like alongside Escape to the Wilds, because on our 6 mana turn, we can cast it and have Veil up, which is really attractive to me. So it's a payoff card that's a little more mana efficient. But you are right that it is awkward against Force Negation. Thing in the Ice. Well, where's my fries? Like somebody ordering at McDonald's, I want to know where my fries are. This card. This is kind of awkward. Although, on the bright side, on 6 mana, we're going to be able to hold up Veil and cast Titan, which is kind of cool. This is obviously going to grab Greenland, fetch the Sweet Forest. Ensures us against Blood Moon. And lets us cast Dryad with Veil up. Pretty nice. It's a nice one, too. Burp, burp, burp. Dryad. I'm sure that they're not going to try to counter this at all. They tried to counter this. Please stop. It's just like insta-resolved. That's really funny. Very unlikely to use this Veil on this following turn. Like if they want to Cryptic Bounce it or whatever, like cool, bro. Next turn we have Titan plus Veil, which is just pretty disgusting. And like that'll pick off their Thing in the Ice as well. If they flip their Thing in the Ice here, then we're going to grab Field of the Dead and make tokens to block the Thing in the Ice. So basically they're kind of in a damned if they do, damned if they don't situation. Boop. Alright, they have a gajillion mana. Make a gajillion mana. Here's Titan. Bloop. And I whoop. Okay. Mystic Sanctuary back Archmage's Charm. Sounds good to me. Hopefully this is a cryptic command. Deprive. Pick up Mystic Sanctuary. Seems like something I should Veil. They didn't have Force last turn. They might have another 2-mana counterspell, but I'm cool with that too. Okay. If they have Brazen Borrower, it's pretty awkward that we don't get to kill this Thing in the Ice, but I think I'm still going to go for it. I think I'm still going to try. The upside's really high. The downside is I just have 2 Valakuts in play or whatever, and I can just play a Dryad and like attack and grab 2 more Valakuts next turn, so this still looks right to me. Oh, there's so many triggers. You. They don't have anything. Beats. These Veil of Summers, as expected, kind of shredded my opponent. They did not want to continue playing. Understandable. Have a nice day. Counterspell is bad against Veil of Summer, chat. Veil of Bummer. Yeah, Veil of Summer is just messed up in this deck. People are like, I'm going to counter all your stuff and beat you down with some, like, anemic beater. It's like, look, I like Thing in the Ice as much as the next person, but, like, you're not going to get this done against Veil of Summer. It's just too efficient. Like, you're not doing it. Like, it's not happening. You need to be doing other stuff. This hand is awkward. 3 payoff cards, a Bloodbraid Elf, and, like, 3 functional lands. I think the hands look a lot better on the mulligan. No! What is this garbage? Alright, you got me. This hand is fun. This hand is probably an upgrade to our first hand, because we just get to put like 2 payoff on bottom. Okay. I'm going to put Scapeshift Titan. Hold up. I'm going to put Titan on bottom. What does that do? Scapeshift with Dryad is better than Titan with Dryad, but Titan's a better card. Titan's easier to cast. Titan or Scapeshift? Titan or Scapeshift? Titan or Scapeshift? Because of this Dryad, I think I'm going to keep Titan, actually. Which is weird, but I think it makes sense. I think it makes sense. Go. Let's be honest, man. You like Thing way more than most. I mean, that's true. Exactly. See, I like Thing in the Ice and Izzet spells far more than the average Magic player. What is happening? I'm about to get Kuldotha Rebirthed. Oh, yeah. Kuldotha Rebirth, huh? All right. You did it. You made some 1/1s. Okay. Okay. Go. You know what seems good against Kuldotha Rebirth? 2/4. Alright, do you have like a Bushwhacker? Reckless, or what is it? The mono red Bushwhacker? Oh, here it comes. Bushwhack me, daddy! Bushwhack me! Okay, no, I wasn't being serious. Hold on. Hold on, can you... Wait. Hold on. We should talk about this. 6, 9, 11. Sure, I'm at 7. I guess. Can I cast this, please? Is that cool? Cast. Well, turns out our hand's a little slow. Forest. That was not it. That was not the draw, chat. That was not the draw. Maybe it don't matter. Do we get to stay alive? Take 6, go to 1? No, we do not get to stay alive. We are very dead. Just cast anything with text. Another Bushwhacker. Yeah, sure, dude. Alright. That is, as they say, the nuts. We are the big dead. This Anger of the Gods Magic card seemed pretty good against them. I wonder if this card's good. Sulfuric Vortex. Is that a good thing to do? Yeah, let's just do Baloths instead. Bolts are pretty bad. Bloodbraid Elves are really bad. Maybe they're not bad. They cascaded to Anger. This game is a lot more about living than it is, like, casting payoff. No, bring that back. Yeah, the fact Bloodbraid finds our Anger of the Gods is attractive. It's weird that I'm upping my converted mana cost against, like, the, like, super fast deck, but, like, I don't know. My plan is to race this deck. Not all their hands look like that. I cut a payoff card, but Anger of the Gods is kind of a payoff card. Okay, we'll keep. They're very likely to be a Blood Moon deck, and that's part of what I'm valuing in this hand a lot. My plan for Blood Moon in this matchup is to just cast Primeval Titans and Bloodbraid Elves and Obstinate Baloth and hope they're good enough. I don't know that that's necessarily a good plan, but it's my plan, so that's just where we're at. I don't get why people call it Vortex. It's a Sulfuric Vortex. What do you mean? It's like does the same thing on rate. Oh, that's nice. We get to, like, use this to, like, load the top card of our deck. This is much worse than Kuldotha Rebirth on turn 1. Nice. This is actually kind of a pog with, what's it called? With Dryad. Blech. Let's play Mountain. Probably going to fetch the other forest. It's pretty likely to happen. This checks the Goblin Guide. So if they just like have like a mopey Bushwhacker hand or whatever. Sure. Creature tokens not being able to block is a little gross. Drew another land, huh? Block. Crack. Grab this forest. Take my 1. second main. They shouldn't have anything. A Signal Pest? Sure. Snow-covered mountain. Cast Farseek. Go grab a Cinder Glade. Then we're going to cycle the Sheltered Thicket. Try to find a payoff card. So we're not dead, but we're very likely to get bushwhacked this turn, so we're going to need to find a payoff card. Knight. That looks like a bushwhacker turn. I don't know if I'm dead to a bushwhacker, but it's going to hurt. Yep. Is it better to cycle first or later? I don't actually know. I'm just going to wait. Bloodbraid Elf. Cycle. This can hit Anger the Gods, so it's a good redraw if we don't hit anything. Oh, this is Xaxes? I didn't even look. Oh, we hit Primeval Titan. Lets us pick off this. Block one, take... Oh, yeah, we were dead to a lot. Huh. We just, like, died on their turn 3 both games. Okay, very cool. Sure. Well, I don't think outside of drawing one of our Anger the Gods, we can beat being turn 3 twice, so... It'd be like that. It doesn't like damage you and gains life. It doesn't have... The players can't gain life text. I mean, I know Shadows, but, like, there's not much else to, like, compare it to, so, like, you want it in a lot of the same spots you want Sulfuric Vortex. Right? Like, in a lot of the fair matchups. Like, it's also Graveyard Hate, too, so it's like... The joke is it's Sulfuric Vortex, but it's actually a lot better. It does a lot more. And so, like, if you want a Sulfuric Vortex, it's probably, like, time to start thinking about, like, definitely bringing that card in, because it's better than Sulfuric Vortex. I don't know why I'm debating to keep this hand. I think it's just a keep. I think this is just a keep all the time. Like, we have interaction, a reasonable ramp spell, 2 payoffs. Like, this payoff's castable to, like, enable this payoff. Which is what I like about Escape a lot here, too. Like, this hand kind of does showcase what I like about Escape. Put this into play. And that's that, like, when you have a payoff flooded hand, it kind of acts as, like, a bridge to make your other payoff actually, like, reasonable. Like, this can kind of do the duty of a really fat ramp spell in spots like this, where, like, we're going to have Dryad. Like, it really does look at its best here, I think. Where, like, our curve looks like Dryad into Escape, into, like, other payoff / Scapeshift. And we may even be able to start interacting on turn 4 with Escape if we hit, like, a Valakut at any point or whatever. And it's good against discard, because if we're getting discarded, we have pseudo 2 payoff cards, so they're very likely to take this. So it keeps our payoff from just being stripped. Yep. Grixis Shadow, huh? Sakura-Tribe Elder, that's a nice one. Every time you escape, I think about a World Breach, not gonna lie. That's fair. Yeah, it's like everything had Escape recently. Like, they recently printed a card I'm talking about that has Escape, and then, like, none of the cards were actually playing half the mechanic Escape. Bolt yourself. Sure, you're 10. I may just leave the Sakura-Tribe Elder in play. If they, like, fetch shock, play a Shadow. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave the Sakura-Tribe Elder in play. Super fine with that. That's awkward. I mean, it was the same either way. We'd have a creature, but we just didn't know about this creature yet. I've got been pretty punished for a lot of the, like, kind of out of, like, line decisions I've made. Bolt, Sakura-Tribe Elder. It's a bolt that wouldn't go face or to yourself, so pretty into that. Mountain. And now we have another, like, backup blocker, like, if they end up, like, just, like, making this ginormous. What's this play around just getting stubbed, too? You have another bolt? Jesus, dude. Well, we kind of just have them dead. If they have a stub, we're dead anyway, but, like... I don't know. Cast this. Cast this. Stub. Okay. Wait, they know about this bolt, right? From this Thoughtseize? They can't dismember, they can't push. Bolt you. Sure. Stub, stub. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, we can't attack. Because we die. Alright. So if they draw a Dismember, we're dead. 2 Exaxes. Them having 2 stubs is pretty sick. Pretty sick. A lot of shadow in these leagues. Nuh-uh. Whoa! Are you serious? Ugh. Literal perfects. Perfects are good. Perfects are good. And that kills them too. We have them literally dead. Nice. Unfortunate. To say the least. I wonder if this card is actually good in this matchup and I'm just underrating it. What year is this? Griggs Death Shadow on bolts. Yeah, they look good. Something like this again. Relic, Klothys, all cards worth considering over these Baloths. Because I don't know if Klothys is actually good. It can help with mana. It can help with just, like, padding my life total and pressuring theirs. But, like, without Bloodbraid Elves, we're a lot worse just generic. Like, we're taking out all the cards for pressuring life total. So, like, this is more or less just for blocking and gaining life and stuff. Yeah, whatever. Just submit it like this. We'll figure out this matchup. What is this hand, dude? Unfortunately, I don't think we can afford to not shock, but I'm just gonna shock. It's important to just hold up Veil every game. Like we're showing that we have Veil, like we're telegraphing it, but we have so many Veils that it's just like they're going to have to play into them eventually. Hell, if they play a black spell on like basically any turn, that like we're probably gonna instep cycle a Veil of Summer. Just to try to hit land drops. We just don't need a pile of them. I'm willing to keep 2, but like we're gonna have to hit our land drops eventually. Which is the nice thing about Veil of Summer is that the floor on it is that it just cycles. They have stub on one. And now they're going to have stub plus Thoughtseize. Pretty good turn. Yep. Could have played around that, but I wouldn't be able to play my Dryad next turn. So I think that's fine, because now they're kind of price taking Dryad, or we're just going to slam Dryad next turn, and they have no recourse from that. So now they're going to take Dryad, and we're just going to keep making land drops with the Veils, like with 2 Veils, which is going to shut off a lot of their interaction as we play Magic. At least we're dead to TBR too. TBR was also a draw they had out last game, so they probably had like 3 to 4 outs instead of just like 1 or 2. Maybe Snap Bolt too. Yeah, okay, we were dead to a lot. What does that mean? I'm tempted to just play this. That's actually what I'm going to do. This is a good draw. So, like, this lets me play Dryad with Veil backup next turn and hold up Veil for this turn. Like, if I just slam Dryad, they could just, like, discard me again, and I'm just not super interested in that at all. Again, if they just play a black spell this turn, on our main phase, we're just going to, like, cycle up Veil and step. I don't think we're going to need a pile of them. They have Fish. Shadow. Okay. Sure. Yeah, I'm going to cycle a Veil and step, try to land. Try to land, try to pay off, try to do stuff. This is a Gurmag Angler? Nice. Alright, let's cycle a Veil. Okay. Okay. This is very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Dryad. If we hit a land off this Explorer, we get to kill the Shadow. Red. Green. Explorer. Land. Perturbably untapped land. Nice. That was all of the above. Kill that. Yes, please. Alright. That's pretty important. Because, like, now we have Veil to cover, like, our Dryad dying. We're, like, this thing doesn't kill me that quickly. Did they just draw that? That's unfortunate. We could have gotten blown up by that. Bolt. Sure. Bolt. Sure. 2, 3. Now we're hoping to draw a Field of the Dead. Reasonable. Or a Titan. I mean, there's a lot of draws here that are really good, and we got a few turns to hit them. Cinder Glade. It's a fine draw. One, 2, 3 mountains. I'm not into cycling this last Veil. That's for sure. Alright, you need a payoff card. We draw a land, we're dead, so I should hold this land. If we draw a Dryad, it's good to hold the land. If we draw Explore, the land drops aren't going to matter anyway. If we draw... No, if we draw Escape to the Wild specifically, I'm going to want to have played that land. Okay. So that Bolt kills us. They did not has. These bolts look great out of that deck. Good one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One bolt's not enough. Dead. That's rough. A 2-3, huh? A 2-3. Well, let's talk about it. Boop. The match was close. We got like 3 or 4 routed. Game 1. We got murdered by whatever the stupid Bushwhacker deck was. We murdered 2 decks. Like, we just basically played almost the minimum games possible. What was our very round 1? It was a Shadow deck, so like 2 different Shadow decks, so we lost to both of them. With 4 Veils in our deck. Awkward. I don't think any of the cards I removed for this matchup make the matchup worse. So, like, I think that, like, I basically would be boarding the same with the list we played last week. So I don't think any of the changes I made to the deck came up there. Like, I cut a Fry, I cut the big Chandra, and I cut a Reclamation Sage. And we didn't get Blood Moon at all, we didn't get Ashiok at all, so, like, all those numbers didn't really come up. But, like, the Baloth Veil looked great, but, like, there at the end of the game, we died with the Veil in our hand, which was, like, pretty unfortunate. I think the handicap was decent. Maybe I'm cutting the Bloodbraid Elves too much. The thing is, like, when you have Veil in your deck, like, Bloodbraid Elf into Veil is such a non-bow. And that's not something that had come up in previous games. Like, a lot of the fair matchups where we wanted to bring in 4 Veils were just like, yeah, Bloodbraid Elf's still good in this matchup too, and it just, like, never came up at all. But in that league, it came up multiple times. When is Pioneer Marvel? It'll be happening right after this, Mob Wife. Just going to talk about this deck real quick before we wrap it up for the Titanshift fans. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if these relics are good. There's a lot of fair matchups where, like, I thought they were going to be good and, like, extra cards to bring in. Like, I was hoping that against, like, Jundish, like, Uro-style decks, we could bring in, like, all of this stuff. But I don't even know what we're going to cut against the Uro decks for all this stuff. Like, it has to be, like, these, and then, like, then we start reaching. And, like, reaching for 3 cards doesn't really feel super possible. So I think these relics just suck. I think these relics are bad. Or the Klothys is bad. One of, like, 2 of these 3 cards are just nonsense, I think. Because the 4 Veils are good. Oh, there's another Fry, too. Is there 10 cards? Yeah, there's 10 cards. Never mind. Maybe all this is just nonsense. Because, like, I'm willing to trim, like, a little bit on some of the cards. Like, maybe, like, we trim a Farseek or whatever. And we can maybe trim, like, a Pact. And it's like, okay. But then, like, even still, like, it's these 7 cards plus, like, a Klothys. So, like, if these aren't coming in against fair decks, like, Relic is just kind of an underpowered card. And it should be something else. Maybe something for these, like, these aggressive decks that are beating us up. For Shadow, though, I, like, only wanted, like, this stuff. And even these weren't good. So maybe, like, a better card. Like an Engineered Explosives or something. Pretty bad with Bloodbraid Elf. But I'd assume we'd bring it out. Bringing in the 4 Veils anyway. I don't know. Escape was okay. I mean, we cast it twice. We cast it twice. Got countered once. Resolved the second time. And was pretty instrumental to winning the game, I think, in the second time. Didn't win the game on the spot. But was one of the only spells castable around... with the mana we had. But if it was a Summoner's Pact, we maybe could have pacted for Dryad and done something. I think I'd like to keep trying this Miser Escape to the Wilds. Just makes our Bloodbraid Elves in our deck a little bit better. The sideboard, these relics probably just need to be something else. I don't really know what our holes in the deck are. The metagame's about to be switched up on Friday anyway, so I'm kind of going to wait to see where exactly I want the sideboard for this deck to end up. But I think we're close. Like, I think the 4 Veils is right. I think 2 Baloths and 2 Angers is fine. 2 Fries is probably fine. At least 1 Rex Sage is fine. And then, like, it's just like these kind of 4 slots we're working with. I'd like to try a little bit more Klothys. I think Beast Thin's good. So with the slots, I'm mainly going to be looking to replace the 2 relics. But the rest of the deck feels fine. I think we played some close matches today that didn't really swing our way. And we got a little unlucky. We played a little bit bad, I think, but I don't think we played like wildly badly that we were punting matches left and right. But Certainly a lot of close games that didn't really break our way. Deck still feels fine. I'd probably be willing to play this in a tournament. I think if I was playing a tournament tomorrow, I'd be more likely to play Amulet Titan because I've been playing a little bit more of it recently. But this is close. Like, before it was, like, not close, and now I'm, like, I'm legitimately giving this deck a consideration. And, like, once I see how the metagame breaks out, there's a chance this deck is just going to be better than Amulet, in my opinion. But for the moment, I don't really believe that to be true. I think it feels close. It feels close. If you have access to this deck, I would not be unhappy playing it in a modern tournament. I think the lands are good. The two field thing finally came up, but I think it's really important in a lot of the fair matchups. Deck's in good shape. Any final questions, problems, or concerns? Drake Enchantment League. You're really vying for this Enchantment League. I'm pretty likely to play an Enchantment League, especially post Ikoria, where we get that Sprite Dragon card. That's a card I'm interested in trying out. But maybe it doesn't fit in the enchantments. Maybe it's better in Phoenix. But it's pretty bad with Thing in the Ice. Anyways. Does this deck have any interest in the new set? I don't remember anything looking good. 18.1k channel points is so close. You are close. Yeah, subs earn channel points super quick. So, I'm sure you'll have a sub list before long. Anyways, thank you all for hanging around. I'm going to be playing Pioneer next if you're watching here live on Twitch, so stick around for that. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you appreciated the content and the Titanship content I produce. If you have not yet hit the subscribe button, please do so. It's the easiest way to support me on YouTube. I'll let you know when I post more videos. If you want to be notified in your notifications, ring the bell next to the subscribe button. And if you like the video, please leave a like. If you're watching here on Twitch, please hit the follow button. It's the easiest way to support me on Twitch, and we'll let you know when I go live, and obviously supports me as a streamer. Thank you all, and I will see you next time.